We'll start this out in child's pose. Good place to just kind of exhale. Put some of the busyness aside. Put aside the to-do list. And just be here for a couple more breaths. Trying to let the breath come in and out through the nose. And then trying to get the exhale to become as long as the inhale. And we'll reach the arms forward. Trying to make our way up into a little bit of a tabletop position, finding our way onto all fours. That's Frank Sinatra, my cat. Speaking of, good leeway right into cat-cow. So on the inhale, softening the belly, tipping up the tailbone and the chin. And then on the exhale, drawing the belly in and up, rounding the back. A few rounds of this with the breath. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. 2 more times like that. Breathing in. Breathing out. 1 more time. Inhale into that cow shape. Exhale, taking this into that cat shape. And staying in this cat shape for another breath as we start to curl the toes under. This is good to stretch out those feet if you're wearing those cute shoes this season. And then on the exhale, hips coming up for downward facing dog. And just having a few moments here to kind of wiggle out through the dog. Up and down on the toes a few times. Maybe a little pedaling out of the legs. Eventually letting both heels lower towards the floor. Breath moving in and out through the nose. And then with this next inhale, starting to walk the feet up towards the top of our mat. When we get there, a little bit of space between the feet. Hands coming to the shins, coming up about halfway. Exhale, fold it over. 1 more time. Halfway up on that inhale. Exhale, folding back over. A little bit into the knees. Starting to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Adjusting close as needed. We'll take a little side bend before we move into a little bit of sun salutations here. So arms coming up alongside the head. A little bit of a belly shot there for you. Exhale, leaning over to the right. Letting the hips move over to the left. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, taking it over to the left. Letting the hips move over to the right. Letting your cat walk across the mat. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, bringing the hands down. We'll come back up to the top of our mat. Moving through a few rounds of just sun salutations here, just to get a little bit of blood flow. Inhale, arms coming up and overhead. Exhale, dive out over the legs. Halfway up on this inhale. On the exhale as we fold, stepping back to our plank pose, top of our push-up. Looking up past the mat, big breath in. On the exhale, maybe the knees come to the floor first as you bring yourself all the way down. Then inhaling up into a little baby cobra pose here. Rolling the shoulders back and down, hugging in these elbows. That was a hard H on that hugging. That was another hard H. Taking another breath in. Exhale, flipping those toes under. Up through our little tabletop. Back to downward facing dog. Finding 3 breaths here in down dog. In through the nose, out through the nose. Perfectly okay to breathe through the mouth if you have to. And then looking up at the top of our mat as we come up onto tiptoes. Exhale, step 1 foot, then the other foot forward. Halfway up in breath. Exhale, fold. Arms out to the side. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Slight wardrobe adjustment. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, reach up on the arm. Inhale. Exhale, fold out over the legs. Halfway up on that in-breath. Exhale, full planted hands. Back to plank pose. Hands was very British there. Did you catch that? Maybe this time a little tip forward. Coming down for chaturanga. Otherwise, all the way down. Into our up dog or cobra. Exhale. Back to down dog. 3 breaths. up onto tiptoes. Exhale, step or hop. I don't hop anymore. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to do one more of those and add in a couple of standing poses this time. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, dive out over the legs. Lengthen the spine as you breathe in. Exhale, fold. Back to our plank pose. Looking up past the mat. Exhale, down your weight. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. On this third breath, taking this right leg up into the sky. Exhale, right foot forward between the hands, left heel down. Gratuitous ass shot coming up. Up into warrior 2. Lunging into this right leg, reaching through the right arm. And imagine those being pulled forward, but then also imagining that this left arm is being pulled back. Looking out over the front set of fingers. Next inhale, we're going to straighten that right leg. Setting up for Trikonasana triangle pose. You might draw the left foot a little bit closer. Exhale, hinge forward from the hip. Right hand coming down, reaching up through that left arm. Try not to go with death grip with this right hand. Good. Looking down at that front foot. Inhale, bending that knee, both hands to the floor. Pivoting onto that back heel. Exhale, taking a twist towards the right. Looking over right shoulder. Maybe right arm up into the sky. Next exhale, right hand to the floor. Back to down dog. Frisky people, tip forward into that plank. Maybe you hold plank, then you go back to dog. Maybe you come through, bring it down, find your back bend. Back to downward facing dog. Left leg coming up on that inhale. Left foot forward between the hands. Right heel down. Up into our warrior 2. So same thing of reaching forward through this left arm, left leg. Strong reach back through that right arm. Maybe the thigh gets parallel, maybe not. Depends on how warm you're feeling at this moment. Then we're going to straighten that left leg. Maybe scoot right foot a little closer. Exhale, hinge forward. Left hand coming down, reaching up through that right arm. Breathing. Good rule just for life in general, I find. Then looking down, both hands to the floor. Taking that twist towards the left. Maybe eventually letting this left arm come up. Then left hand down, back to down dog. Maybe one last vinyasa here. If you're feeling a little spent, you could go into child's pose. That's a very unflattering angle, by the way. Then we're going to bring this right knee up behind this right wrist. A little pigeon pose here. Scooting that left leg back. Now, if you feel a bit tight, feel free to put something up underneath this right sit bone. Could be a block if you have one, could be a pillow, could be a blanket, or I don't know, copy of the Grapes of Wrath or something. Then find your way down to forearms, elbows. Just going for 5 breaths here, keeping the practice kind of short today. Squaring these hips. Feeling like this right hip is in line with that left hip. Walking our hands back towards us. This is rarely a graceful exit for me. Curl the back toes under. Maybe let this knee hop up a step or 2. So that way, when you press back to down dog, it's not quite the feeling of stepping back and dragging the leg forward at the same time. Then left knee up behind left wrist, scooting that right leg back. Same thing, if you feel like you need something under this hip, and you might need something under this hip where you didn't need it on the other hip. Sometimes my left hip doesn't play so well with others. Eventually maybe finding your way down to forearms and elbows. Then coming back up to the hands. Again, maybe a little hop forward with that back knee. Stepping back. Last downward facing dog here. We'll walk the feet forward a step or two. Come down to the knees. Let the feet open, maybe a little wider than the hips. And see if we can sit back between the heels. Again, this could be a good place to place a prop up underneath your sit bones. Block if you have it. Again, big book would work. A rolled up blanket, kind of rolled up like a fat doobie or something. 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to come over to a hip, doesn't matter which one. Swing these legs out in front. A little forward fold action. So just kind of rock forward and pull the flesh off the sit bones. Kind of unpacking the groceries, if you will. We're going to take the arms up alongside the head. So while we're looking down at the feet, drawing the pinky toes towards us and making sure that all the toes are pointing straight ahead. Reach up on that inhale. On the exhale, reaching forward. If you can grab feet, go for it. Otherwise, go for shins or ankles. And we're going to keep the legs very active and the back pretty straight today. So it's not this intention of getting our forehead to the knees or our chin to our shins. Though that's just naturally your genetic blessing. Don't let me dim your light. Go for it. 2 more breaths here. And then reaching through the arms. We'll sweep this up on the in-breath. On the exhale, bring the hands down. We're going to scoot the hips forward a little bit. We're going to come down onto the back. We'll do a little core. We'll do a little, which I clearly need right now. The chip salsa habit is strong, y'all. So we'll do a little core, a little back bend, a twist, and a very brief Shavasana. So rolling back, we're going to hug these knees into the chest. I'm going to sound very emotional. Let me scoot down a little bit here. I'll sound very emotional doing this because it's hard. So we're going to take legs straight up. Feet are going to be about hip width apart. On the next exhale, reaching the hands in the direction of the feet. Flexing through the feet, drawing the belly in and up. Good, keep breathing. Very crucial there. 2 more breaths. And then head down, feet down. Let's see if we can brush the heels with the fingertips. 1 bridge pose here. Get a little inversion. Taking an inhale. On the exhale, hips pressing up. Walking shoulder blades towards each other. Then maybe this interlacing of the hands. Grounding into the feet, a little tuck of the tailbone. Hips pressing up, rolling the shoulders under. Let's go for 5 breaths here. Again, hopefully still breathing in and out through the nose. Hopefully still breathing. It's a good habit to stay with, I find. Then the hands coming apart. Taking the elbows out to the sides, making some space between the shoulder blades as you lie back down. We'll take this left leg straight out. If you're hitting furniture, just kind of do the supine worm. Taking the right knee over to the left. This right arm out to the side. Back to the center. Send out that right leg. Drawing the left knee. Taking the left leg all the way over towards you. Again, letting that left shoulder feel heavy. Then back to the center. Sending out both legs. Dropping down the arms. Maybe that a few times. Big breath in. Open the mouth. Stay here as long as you like. Maybe it's a minute. 2 minutes would be great. 5 would be even better. And hopefully this practice has served you in some way. So if you find yourself falling into this kind of all or nothing mentality when it comes to taking care of yourself, specifically in forms of exercise or yoga practice, the all or nothing mentality won't really serve you well long term. So this little 15-minute practice is a great way to kind of get a little something in. We did a little standing poses, we got a little blood flow, we got the heartbeat up a little bit, we got a hip opener, we got core, we got a twist. We hit a lot of the major stuff there. So if you only have 20 minutes or so, this is hopefully a good addition for you, especially this time of year as we're doing this during the holidays. So thank you for watching this. Namaste.